Welcome to a brand new unboxing of the SONY Xperia 10 Mark VII. Great naming scheme. I'll be going over unboxing along with a quick look at the device, its specifications, and also taking a complete steaming dump all over Sony approach to dealing with their devices, specifically their phone lineup, which previously actually had some kind of purpose, but now it doesn't. So, for the people that are watching this in a probably different language, I do want to point out I am truly sorry for the absolute abhorrent translation that you're about to hear that is done by AI. So yeah, that's going to be absolutely awful, considering it does struggle quite a lot trying to figure out what I'm saying in a cohesive manner. But in any case, so taking a look at the box itself, we have a Sony sticker right here with a tag because Sony is afraid that anyone would want to steal their piece of shit phone. Wow, that's rich. Don't worry, Sony, no one wants this trash. Great. Yep, there we go. So you can see we have a little ribbon right here, and under that, actually I'll just try to rip that off. Come on. You know what, I can be bothered with this one. But yeah, there is like a layer to it. Anyway, here we have the what could be considered a more budget version of the Xperia phones. So this is obviously the 10, just the newest version of it, and it's a relatively small device, to be honest. 6.1 inches. So this is a smallest Samsung S25 as a size comparison, so just a little bit taller. And in terms of width of it, it's tiniest bit wider by like the literal plastic frame. Now, because this is Sony, it literally doesn't come with anything on the screen as a protection. No major like manufacturers put any care into that, so you have just bare screen right here, no screen protector, no case in the box. Shit, Sony doesn't even give you any more cable. Awesome. So I guess that's too much for even a budget device. Awesome. By the way, when I'm saying budget device, this specific, in terms of performance, is a budget phone, by all intents and purposes. The price, on the other hand side, is on the higher end of mid-range. And as the price would indicate, this device should be coming with way better specifications than what it actually comes with. Which I'm going to talk about that later on when I'm giving a comparison to another device that costs half as much and outperforms this flat out. So, let's start with the display right here, which, like I mentioned, is a 6.1 inch with a 1080 by 2340 pixel resolution, OLED display, 120 Hz refresh rate, and just HDR. No 10, no 10 Plus, no Dolby Vision, no other gimmicks that Sony would actually need to pay for. Because for $500, that's too much to ask for. Okay, we have 82.9% screen to body ratio, which means we're basically like 7% off of what could be considered a modern device with these hideous bezels at the top and bottom, and also on the sides as well. These are, by all intents and purposes, not a small bezel. I can get my phone just to, let me just kind of turn on light mode and open up settings, as this is going to be the best way to showcase this. So this device right now has a screen protector, which you can kind of see around the camera, this ring, which already adds tiny bit of bezel, additional bezel, just because of this the screen protector having like this black border. So the actual phone bezels are smidge smaller than what you actually see right here already, and these dwarf what Sony has right here on their $500 device. Now, it might not be too fair to compare a $1,000 device to a $500 device, so let's compare a $200 device to this one. So I'm just going to quickly open it up in a new tab just to pull up the information, and what I'm looking for is, actually there are two different devices that I can look at. Let's see. Oops. Looking for is this, there we go. Okay, so one device, which I'm not going to name the actual device just yet. I'm going to do that at the end as a kind of, sneak peek thingy thing. So the device that costs less than half of this at like $200 comes with 86.7% screen to body ratio. Also has HDR10 Plus and a peak brightness of 3000 nits with 2160/100 pull rate. So meaning the screen is super responsive. And the other one, a little bit more expensive, basically at the price of this, comes with 90% screen to body ratio. Now this is just screen to body ratio, but the screen itself is also way more certified, let's call it this way. So it has over 1900 Hertz pull rate, again the responsiveness of your touch inputs, Dolby Vision certified, HDR10 Plus certified, and a peak brightness of 3200 nits. So these are two devices that completely shit all over this device in terms of just the display. I want to remind you that Sony is one of the bigger manufacturers of displays. They're, for instance, for micro OLED displays, they are literally the best company, and yet they give you such an abhorrent shit as an option right here while trying to fleece you out of your money. Anyway, let's continue on. So, apart from the mediocre display for the price, let's take a look at the cameras, and boy oh boy do those look absolute shit. So we have 50 megapixel f1.9 aperture, 24mm wide lens, and 13 megapixel 2.4 aperture, 16mm 123 degree ultra wide. Now with these amazing cameras, sarcastically speaking, you can capture videos at 4K at whopping 30 frames per second. Wow, so almost like we went back in time a couple years. And at 1080p you get 60 along with slow motion of 120. So they actually are matching budget devices. Cool. Anyway, at the front we have an 8 megapixel 2.0 aperture, 26mm wide lens in the bezel. Not even a hole punch, because the bezel right here is so humongous that it can fit an entire camera now. So yeah, it's just there. And that camera, the selfie one, gets you 1080p 30 frames. We're back to budget territory now again. So the cameras right here, at least on paper, are not anything to rave home about. Not for a nearly $500 device. And one thing that I do want to point out is another that I didn't mention with the screen. We have a side-mounted fingerprint sensor with an OLED display, which could have had a under-display sensor, just to give you a bit modern look, but I guess again, it's probably more expensive, so here it goes, a budget solution. Fingerprint sensor on a power button, just like every actual budget device. Awesome. Anyway, in terms of build quality around, we have a plastic phone. So, plastic frame, plastic back. We do have actually headphone jack at the top, microphone. Then on the right side we have our volume rockers, power button, and the camera shutter button. Then at the bottom we have a Type-C with another mic. We have, interestingly enough, speakers. So let's see if I can actually capture this on the video. Come on. Oh, there we go. So you can barely see the slit right here. So these are speakers facing forward, and there's one in the earpiece. So this will get you better sound quality out of your phone compared to, like, for instance, something like this, presumably, as you do have a bit more surface area right here for the sound, which is also facing towards you. Now let's move over to the internals, which on this amazing device we have a 5000 mAh battery, which is decent battery size for the phone size actually, and we have 8 GB of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, so that's a bit on the lower end, but Sony is one of those companies that still includes a SD card reader right here, so that's obviously nice that we can use expendable storage. So 128 gigs might be on the lower end, but you can just pop a SD card and expand it further. We have, and that's gonna be very painful, Snapdragon 6 Gen 3 as a processor in here. So basically a low-end processor. Yeah, that's basically all the worth mentioning information. Nothing really stands out right here for the nearly $500 price tag of this device. And the things that do stand out is the the lacking part, like the chunky bezels at the top and bottom, and a little bit less, but still chunky on the sides. The budget build of being fully plastic, apart from obviously the screen. The lacking of certifications. The battery, I would say, is okay right here, considering this device is like nearly 1,000 milliamp hours less. I think it's like 4,000 if I remember correctly. It's about the same size, give or take. So with that in mind, this one has a bit bigger battery, although it's not really specified what battery type it is in here. So yeah, such thing. The battery is pretty decent here, and that's really where my kind of praise stops. The battery is decent. I don't know how fast it charges. It's not mentioned. In terms of Android, it's coming with Android 15 with 4 major Android upgrades, so up to like 19 presumably. Yeah, that's basically everything that there is. Now, like I mentioned, I'm gonna give you the other devices. So the names of the two devices, the one that is half the price of this one is the CMF Phone 2 Pro. Now the one that is about the same price as this one is going to be the Xiaomi 15. Now CMF phone is from nothing, and this is an American brand, while obviously Xiaomi is Chinese, but both of them are available in US, and the Xiaomi is going to be same price while offering flagship device. Like straight up, it's a flagship phone with fast charging, bigger battery, 12 to 16 gigs of RAM, Snapdragon 8 Elite, triple 50 megapixel sensors, wide telephoto and ultra wide, that gives you 4K 30 and 4K 60 with HDR10 plus and Dolby Vision 10-bit video recording and all that jazz, while also having a 32 megapixel selfie. So it just completely demolishes this device at the same price. There is just no comparison. And one of the reasons people used to pick these devices was because of the ability for you to use this device as a viewfinder for your Sony camera. It's one of those things that basically it's a niche kind of feature that isn't advertised, but it was one of the only reasons I would say to ever even go for this device, because it sure as shit didn't have any other reasons. And now you get to overpay for that feature, while also then being forced to pay a monthly subscription, because Sony decided to take it away from people that already purchased devices like this, the previous generation, and put it behind a paywall. So a feature that you had, you now don't. Feature that shouldn't require a subscription, because it's not cloud-based, and if it is, it sure shit shouldn't be, because it's literally connecting to your camera either through a cable or possibly wirelessly. Hell, I can open up my phone and look for Sony. Oh wow, look at that, Sony camera. I can download this from Play Store and through NFC just smack the camera that I have right here, which is a video camera from Sony, and I can connect wirelessly and basically have similar kind of functionality. And guess what? I don't even need to pay a subscription for that. Now these devices had the benefit, ability to connect through a USB-C to the camera and give you that footage. Yeah, now it costs you $5 per month. Up your ass, basically, as Sony decided to go. So yeah, there is no reason why anyone should support this kind of bullshit behavior. This absolute like garbage, fleecing out of money kind of behavior. It's pathetic, to be completely honest. So yeah, Sony can go screw themselves by producing dogshit phones and then trying to fleece you with a subscription for the only feature that you'd ever pick this device for, I would say, because it sure as shit doesn't offer anything else. And like I mentioned, you can buy at the same price, for instance, the Xiaomi, and download the application and connect to your camera via the application wirelessly. And you don't even need a subscription for that. So it makes this kind of useless. And the other device at half the price, like I said, CMF Phone 2 Pro, is also a fantastic device, which comes with a Dimensity 7300 Pro processor, which again, faster than we have right here. Comes with a double 50 megapixel wide and telephoto cameras, 8 megapixel ultra wide that do 4K 30 and 1080p up to 60 with 120. Like, this is basically what this phone offers, with one additional camera. and 16 megapixel selfie that does 1080p 30. So let me quickly check, was it 1080p right here, was also 30. So in terms of cameras, it's very similar to what we have right here, just with the added benefit of having one additional lens for you to mess around with. And other than that, it's faster processor. Screen is going to have higher pull rate, HDR10 plus certification with a peak brightness of 3000 nits, higher screen to body ratio, and also higher storage options with 256 and 8 gigs, also expandable via SD card. So again, you're not really limited there either, and all that for about $200. So this is coming at closer to $500, offering way less. That device that I just mentioned, the CMF phone, is offering more while costing half the price, just because it doesn't have this garbage logo right here. Because like, this is now a positive thing. Xperia now means you're going to be paying extra as a monthly subscription rather than getting a decent device like it used to. And when it used to, that was like decades ago, by the way. So yeah, no reason to pick this up. I'd go for other devices that actually offer you a product that is worth the money and respect you as a customer, rather than sell you a bullshit phone and then try to force you to pay a subscription by changing the terms of purchase after your purchase, because that's basically what Sony did. There are people that bought the previous version of these devices and now they can't use the feature that they literally paid for, because Sony decided to go back on what they were selling, change it, put it behind a paywall, and you can do shit about it. You're just forced into it. So screw this. You don't know when they decide to maybe put a subscription on their skin of Android, and you might be forced to, I don't know, pay to just use your device as a monthly subscription. Because if they can do that, shit, nothing is stopping them from going further, to be completely frank. So don't support this crap. Put your money somewhere else where it actually matters, and just get a better device that doesn't try to fleece you out of your money. It doesn't make you pay a subscription for a product that you physically own. So anyway, hopefully you found this video helpful, or my rant specifically. And if you did, smash that like and subscribe button, and thanks for watching.